What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. So today it's finally time for me to give you the long-awaited update on Pocket Network and how it's doing for me, as well as their new WAGMI proposal that did just pass, which is why it's going to be very important if you do decide to jump in on Pocket Network and do some run some nodes to get some passive income. It's definitely going to be helpful to do that earlier. So I'm going to explain what this WAGMI proposal is and how it's going to affect Pocket in the future, potentially. So just looking at some quick stats before we get into that, Pocket Network is currently doing really well today, sitting at about 83 cents. If we look in the past kind of 14 days here, it was a pretty much a really good prime time to buy Pocket Network when the market was kind of really low. It had an all-time low in the past kind of 2 weeks of about maybe 67 cents, hovering around that 70-cent mark. So if it does go back there, then that definitely might be a really good opportunity to jump in. But honestly, I think right now also could be a really good opportunity to jump in, because 80 cents, 90 cents is pretty much the average of where Pocket has been over the past few months. Taking a look at a few other things here, we're going to be talking a little bit about relays later on. So again, you'll notice that the amount of relays that happen with Pocket Network are sort of correlated with the price of Pocket Network. So over the past kind of 2 weeks here, we haven't had that many relays going on, and you can see that the chart for Pocket is again similar to that. Over the past 2 weeks, we haven't really had that many relays going on, so the price was down a little bit. Now that things are picking up, the price is also picking up. So we'll just to quickly tell you guys what relays are for Pocket Network is when people are using the Pocket Network system to run their websites or smart contracts and get pulled data from other places. So the more relays that are happening, the more smart contracts and companies and websites are using the actual product of Pocket Network, which is great to hear. This is another thing, Pocket Scan. We might come back to this later. This is just another example to show you guys that the relays have been increasing over the past kind of couple of days here. Now, this is what I really want to talk about. They did do an update on March 16th talking about inflation. So this is going to be very interesting for those of you who have Pocket tokens, who have nodes running, and for those of you who are interested in running a node in terms of what the price is going to be and how price action is going to move over the next year, really, with how the tokenomics are set up. So what this article talks about, I'm not going to read it all to you. You guys can read this on your own. I'll leave links in the description and in Patreon for you guys to look at it yourself. But this article is giving you a really good overview and understanding about what they're doing to manage their inflation. So they go over kind of what Pocket Network is really quickly, how the nodes work, how relays work, and they talk about the fact that inflation is happening with Pocket Network. So basically, there's two things that are attributed to the inflation happening on Pocket Network. Number one, there are way more people running nodes, which is sort of their plan. They wanted people to get interested in Pocket and to run nodes so that the system can be robust enough to handle the people who are wanting to use Pocket in their websites and dApps to get the data. And that worked really well. They offered some really high rewards, which is one of the reasons why I jumped into it, to node runners. A lot of node runners join. In fact, we can go back over here to see the total amount of node runners. I think for the stake nodes, there's 37,000 stake nodes right now. And I think even here, if I can find it right here, the amount of stake nodes over the past kind of month has increased from 32,000 back on the 17th of last month to 37,000 today, which is really nice to see that there's interest in people running these nodes. So that's the first thing. The more nodes there are, the more Pocket is going to be distributed out to these people that are running these nodes. It's a good thing and a bad thing, and I'll explain kind of both of those things. So that's one thing. You're getting more nodes, which is sort of what Pocket Network is saying. We've reached the point where that is a success. The other thing that is also a success is more companies, websites, and dApps are using Pocket. So what happens with that is the more companies, websites, and dApps that are using Pocket to get data from other places, it's actually distributing more Pocket tokens because the network is being utilized more. So, yay, good for you. More rewards for everyone because the system is actually being a success. So, those two things in tandem, Pocket Network is saying we have met those two goals. Now we have to address the concerns about we're getting a lot of tokens paid out to people, and they don't want to get to a point where the whole token is paying out giant rewards over time, because that's going to have a very negative impact on the price over time. But this is where the WAGMI comes in. So WAGMI, I'm sure you guys recognize that acronym, but it actually makes sense here. And I think they made it WAGMI on purpose, but nonetheless it does make sense. It stands for Weighted Annual Gross Max Inflation. So they want to, again, limit the amount of inflation that's happening, because as we all know, with supply and demand, if the supply goes up way too much and the demand does not catch up to it, the price will crumble, and the project itself might also crumble in tandem with that. Because again, one of the reasons why people are running nodes is to make money, and if that inflation is way too high, then they're not going to make money, and it's not going to be worth it to run nodes on the Pocket network, and the Pocket network will collapse if their users are not running nodes. So they have to fix this in the future, or at least have a plan to make sure that it's not going to become a problem in the future. Right now, they don't have to fix it. It's not a problem right now, but over time, it will become a problem if you're paying out too much tokens later on. So with the WAGMI proposal, what they plan on doing with this is they plan on having a targeted inflation rate of 100%. So I believe what that means is all of the Pocket network tokens from January 1st, if there's 100 Pocket tokens in all of existence, January 1st, 2022, by January 1st, 2023, they want there to be 200 tokens. That's a 100% inflation rate. So that's the plan. Obviously, there's more than 100 tokens, but that's just an example to help you guys understand. They want it to increase by 100% within a year. Now, what they actually want to do is they want it to only increase by 50% in a year to kind of really control things. But they did decide that that's going to be a little bit too much of a difference for people, and again, they don't want to upset the node runners from their profits that they're making and reduce those rewards too fast and too hard, because again, people are going to stop running nodes and the system's going to collapse. So reducing that inflation rate to 50% means that people are going to be getting a lot less tokens very quickly. So that is the goal, to reduce the inflation rate to 50% eventually. But right now, their target is 100% for right now. So what that means, there's a couple of things that's going to happen with this. That means with the WAGMI proposal being passed, it's actually going to have a variable inflation rate based on the amount of relays that are happening. So if by tomorrow or next week or next month, there are tons and tons more people using Pocket networks, RPC. So they're running relays, the smart contracts, the dApps, the websites. And in turn, that should mean that you're getting way more people using the system, way more tokens are going to get paid out. But with this WAGMI proposal, it's going to add a little bit of calculations involved there, so that even if there are more people using the system, they're going to reduce the amount of tokens so that it stays stable for an inflation rate of 100% over a year's time span. But there's a little bit of a catch here, and this is where it kind of becomes time sensitive. So we can see these dates right here: 100%, 90%, 80%. Like I said, they want to get the goal of being a 50% inflation rate annually. So to do that, they're going to, instead of just jumping directly to 50% and crushing the profits of a lot of people who make nodes, they're going to decrease it by 10% every single month here. So February, March, April, May, it's going to go down 10% in terms of what people are going to be earning from running a Pocket node. So this is actually a good thing. I know you might be saying, well, man, why why are they doing this? You're going to be making less money from doing that. But it's actually a good thing overall, because when, again, supply and demand, I keep saying this on the channel and I'll keep saying it until you guys understand, but they're going to reduce the supply from doing this, or reduce the distributed supply at the very least. The demand, it seems to be increasing. I mean, I showed you guys this chart a little bit ago. The demand is definitely increasing as we're getting more relays over time, more stake nodes over time. Of course, there are some times, like in the past couple of weeks, where the relays do decrease if the crypto market is kind of not really doing too much. But overall, it looks like we're having a positive upward growth in relays and stake nodes and Pocket minted. But so over time, as that number decreases, the as the number of distributed Pocket decreases, that demand, if it continues to stay level or go up, it's going to in turn help increase the price dramatically. So what does that mean for people running nodes? In my opinion, if you do want to run a node with Pocket, decide way sooner than later, because again, you're going to be making 50% less in July compared to what you're going to be making right now if you decide to run a node right now, and actually probably a lot less than 50% from compared to now, because the more staked nodes that are out there, the less you're going to be making. So I'm assuming that these stake nodes are probably going to increase over time still. So again, right now, today is probably one of the best times to get in terms of making Pocket tokens. So the last thing that we can talk about before I wrap up is the price. So Pocket tokens and price are two completely different things. But I do think that Pocket is a top 50 coin, and there's a lot of reasons why I'm saying that still. So right now it's sitting at rank 118 with a market cap of $703 million. But if we take a look and we see all of these chains, Polygon, Harmony, Ethereum, Fuse, Avalanche, these are all chains that are using Pocket Network, and I think that everything is just kind of working together to show that there is growth here. There is interest here from developers, there's interest here from just regular investors for the Pocket token, and there's interest here for node runners. So as long as those interests continue to increase, I think that this token's not going down anywhere anytime soon. That's just my personal thoughts. So it being a relevant technology, I think that relevant technologies will stick around in the long run. I do think that this can definitely breach a lot of other tokens that are not doing as much and be in the top 50 spot at the bare minimum. So what's that going to put Pocket at in terms of price? That's going to put it at a 3x from where it is right now. So that's 300% increase to put it at the rank 50, which is kind of my next short-term target for a Pocket token. Now, lastly, we can end with how much am I making. Now, I could talk about Thunder Pocket a little bit, but I'm not going to talk about Thunder Pocket too much in this video because there's some positives and negatives to it, and I'm not super invested into Thunder Pocket as I am with Coder. So Coder is over here, and I wanted to show you guys kind of what my earnings with Coder has been. And Coder is just a group of people that I can make a node with hands off. Now, a lot of people have different opinions about this. If you're watching this video, you're probably not technically inclined enough to run your own node, so you will have to use something like Thunder Pocket or another third party like Coder. Now, the controversial thing is they do take 40% of your earnings, so that's a huge chunk. But nonetheless, let's talk about how much I'm earning from this. So I have two nodes here. That's about 60,000 Pocket that I've spent. 30,000 Pocket per node, and we might round up to $1 for this, just for the sake of clarity. And you know, that's not too far off. We're sitting at about 80 cents right now. But over the past month for my two nodes, I've made approximately, if you average this out, that averages out to 1,190 Pocket tokens per month here. So that's from the two nodes that I'm running. That's 60,000 tokens, which means I'm making about 2% every month from my staking in here, which is pretty darn good. It's actually better than Polygon, better than a few other things. And again, I think that this is a prime time because it's a low price pocket token. So what's that mean? If I'm making 1,190 pocket tokens at a value of $1, that's $1,190 per month from this whole thing. And then finally, we can kind of do some predictions about what is that going to be later. So if I decide not to immediately dump and sell my tokens, then I look at the positive side of things and kind of think longer term with this. So Pocket at a 3x from where it is at $1. I know it's not at $1 right now, so my projections are a little bit off, but still it's attainable values, I think. So instead of that 1,190 tokens, so let's go ahead and do 1,190, and we're going to multiply that by 3. That's about $3,570 per month on average that I could be earning from this. So my plan is to get another pocket node, at least one more. If the price does drop a little bit, that's what I want to hopefully be able to do. Because Coder did do some updates to their backend as well. You can actually compound with your tokens. But do your own research on that. I could do a separate video about that, talking about the pros and cons of doing that, but you will need a lot of nodes to actually get the compounding, or you're going to have to wait a pretty long time in order for it to work. So that is everything for this video. I wanted to give you guys an update on that WAGMI proposal and what could be happening with Pocket over time. Overall, the gist of this is a good thing that they are going to be reducing the inflation over time. It should have a positive impact on the price. So I'm looking forward to that in the next couple months. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on Patreon. You'll have access to my Discord, where we're going to be talking more about this stuff in NFTs if I have time to post more and stuff over there. But of course, it's always helpful just to watch the videos as well. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.